All right, so we're approaching EP 1 of Girl Rules. I'm I feel like in the past I've said girls rules. I feel like in the past I've said a lot of bullshit that has just kind of been unintelligible generally speaking. I wish that I was better at enunciation. I don't know if it's just because like I've started noticing it more that I don't really enunciate my words very well sometimes. Um if it's just like if I'm just thinking about it more or like if really over time like I'm getting worse at enunciation. Um for whatever reason, maybe I'm putting too many chemicals into my body. The chemicals are nice, so I won't stop. So I apologize if sometimes you go, "What is this bitch on about?" I listen back to myself, and sometimes I don't know what I just said either. I'm gonna try to be more conscious and intentional with my articulation. Um, and then also, like, sometimes I say girls' rules. I realize it's not, like, I'm epenthesizing an S at the end of girl. I'm sorry, my linguistics brain rot is entering the chat. I'm talking about serious things like GL right now, okay? Calm down. I'm talking to myself there. You can be as hype as you want to be. Um, yeah, sometimes I say girls' rules, and I realize that's not the name of the show. I am also mildly dyslexic, so I sometimes like I read things and I pronounce them and that's not how they're spelled. I sometimes I pronounce things in ways that their spelling just completely contradicts. I'm sorry about that. I have a problem with words and reading. But episode 1, like today is already tomorrow in Thailand. It's about to be tomorrow in the United States, and I have work to do again, so I'm gonna be making a YouTube video instead of doing that, you know what I mean? And then the funny thing is, the same work that I was behind on when I filmed the last YouTube video is still, I've still not made the Google document. And that's just because I love providing for the 5 people that accidentally come across this nonsensical piece of media. But I did want to put out some predictions that I had about what is to come from episode 1 of Girl Rules, which will be up. I maybe by the time that I'm awake. Actually, let me check. Do I have any appointments in the morning? I feel like I do have like a meeting that I need to prepare for, kind of early ish. No, no, no. That's at 3. I'm chilling. Um, other things are gonna be a problem. I'm sorry, I just got a flash of my responsibilities for the coming week. Chat, we're cooked, but it's fine because I'm 95% certain that I'm still going to graduate at the end of the semester. So I really don't care. But yeah, I'm going to be making some predictions about what I think is going to happen in Girl Rules. And I am going to edit this video because listen, I care. So this is just the intro. And then we're going to move into the part that I've edited with graphics. Because again, I care. So here's my little presentation. I've ordered it couple by couple. Of course, the plots intertwine. I'll talk about how I think things are going to intertwine, relevantly speaking, but again, I'm just looking at episode 1. Like, I want to really constrain my predictions. Because I love TV, I feel like there's sometimes like a formula, and like this is how you make it a good EP1. Like, I feel like, yeah, but I realized when I was making my predictions, it's kind of like they could go anywhere, and I'm ready to be surprised. I am. So, okay, first up, Prim Bambi. Prim over here, we've got Bambi here. Um, are they fucking EP1? I feel like this is an important question given the genre that we're investigating here today. My answer is no. Okay, but maybe they could. They could. I don't think they are. Like, I feel like it makes to me the most sense for them to like draw out this sort of situation. But then like I remembered in the in like the description that I read of the book, these ladies are exes, but they're getting it on the reg. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of getting it on. They're like, but like, you can still like just be friends with this ex that you still have sex with, right? Lots of lesbians believe that they can do this. I said this when I read the description for the Girl Rules book. If there's one thing lesbians love to do, it's to have sex with their ex-girlfriends. They love to have an ex-wife, an ex-girlfriend, and continue to sleep with them. So, I don't know, it might happen. I do think, though, that it makes more sense dramatically if Prim is, like, sort of initially, like, put off by Bambi's return. And I do talk about that, I believe, here. So Bambi comes back. Prim's like, girl, what's going on? Like, what are you doing here? Bambi's like, yeah, no, I just need your help with the project. Like, you're the best of the best. I have this new product going out, and I need you to help do my promo. Like, visually, I need your company to step in. Your, like, ad commercial / MV agency to do your thing. And then Prim's like, I don't trust that. I don't trust you. You, like, disappeared for a while. So I think this episode 1 is going to be a lot of, like, distrust between Prim and Bambi. And, like, Prim is really going to be trying to figure out, like, I know you. I see right through you. I know that there's something up here. You need to tell me what's really going on. Like, why are you here? What are you doing here? I don't understand what's happening. And I think that's going to be the tension for the bulk of the episode. And then, at the end of the episode, Prim is done. She's tired of the games and the nonsense. Maybe, like, Bambi causes some sort of scene that, like gets in, like, maybe Prim is trying to get a little bit further with Goria, right? Bambi comes and interrupts and does something, causes some sort of scene. Maybe not interrupts it exactly, but it's like a thing of where if Prim really wanted to still be with Goria in that moment and in that intimate time, she could have, but instead she chooses to, you know, get back into the nonsense, into the fray, into the hurricane that is Bambi. She runs after Bambi and says, what is your problem? Like, tell me, what are you really doing here? Bambi says, I came back for you. End of the episode. And, like, it's a little bit ambiguous. Like, did she come back to get together with you? I think episode 2 is going to play with the ambiguities. It's like, I don't want to get back together. I just, you know, wanted to be with you or something. Like, I care about you or something like that. I don't know. Something cute like that. Or we can still have a... Because I don't think that they're going to reveal... Because I think the beauty in, like, this kind of romance is not knowing what the other is in their head thinking about. Especially, like, this idea of girl rules, like... don't fall for your ex. Like, you kind of get yourself rules. You think you're playing a game, you want to win the game, and your opponent is this person who you don't want to have power over you, but they still do. So I think that having unknown intentions lying in both their heads is going to be something that they want to carry out for the length of the show, or for like a good chunk of the show, because I feel like that's where they're going to get a lot of the momentum for the story. However, I still think we need to spice it up, because right now, like, I think Prim needs to have an inkling early on, like, okay, maybe it is true that Bambi wants me again. Do I want it to be true? Am I stupid for wanting her to want me again after she's proven to me that she doesn't? Like, I don't want to be a fool. Maybe I'm just a fool who's willing to sit around, hopelessly devoted. But now there's nowhere to hide when you cast my love aside, out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you, hopelessly devoted to you. That's where, not in episode 1, she won't be hopelessly devoted just yet, but trust is on the way. It's on the horizon. Moving on, next we have Sasha Gora. Now, this pair, are they fucking EP1? No, they're not. They're gonna have sex for sure. Don't be worried. But it's gonna be EP3 or maybe EP2. I don't know, like, we want to keep people engaged, right? We want to give them something to look at, right? But I think like tension, like waiting, like getting close, but oh, it's still so far. I think that's what's really like, let's really draw that out. But again, like, I feel like there's gonna be so many twists and turns that like we can get a little bit messy early on. And how do we get messy? We introduce the sexual element of their relationship. So I don't think it's gonna happen EP1. Again, I think like this is a lot about like, let's chase this person. So even EP3 might be early because Sasha's main goal, this is Sasha, by the way, this is Goria. Sasha's main goal is to chase Goria. So I don't think it makes sense for them to just like get rid of the whole central conceit of their relationship in EP1. Like, let's slow down. Let's slow down, okay? And also I think like Goria's just gonna be too focused on trying to get with Prim right now, that just for her to get with Sasha, like, maybe when I get to episode 3 of Only Friends Dream On, I'll discuss what's going on over there right now. But like, that's why, like, Rafi, girl, I just don't know how deep is your love. Like, it must not be that deep. But moving on from this, so I'm thinking, and I'm pretty sure this is basically established, but this is just like something that I do want to have on here as my prediction. Sasha is invited by Bambi. So Sasha is invited by Bambi, who we saw on the last slide, to work on this new project as a model. So they're kind of close. They're friends. They're going to be a friend group that's like outside of the other friend group, which I think is important to have. I love when characters have friends. It scares me a little bit when the characters don't have friends, they don't have anyone to talk to. So I think that having them be like a friend group and everybody else being their own separate friend group, I guess Preo won't have friends, but maybe she'll have like uni friends. Special guest Bonnie in the episode. Ooh. Well, I should have made one for like who I think is the special guest is gonna be. Wouldn't it be so funny if First and Cowtown were also special guests? I shouldn't bring men into this mix. I shouldn't. But if you want a BL pairing that I think is friendly with this crowd, I think you could do First Cowtown. But let's not, I'm not advocating for men to be on this show, don't get me wrong. I've got emotional problems right now. Okay, so I think Sasha and Bambi are gonna be friends, or at least like, if they're not friends prior, I think they're gonna meet each other and that's gonna be a close friendship, which is gonna confuse people. Like, I think Prim is gonna look at the Sasha and Bambi friendship and go like, I don't trust that. Because I do think Prim has trust issues because her girlfriend disappeared. Wouldn't you? Next, I think that Sasha is going to try to make a move, and this is going to be something, again, that happens toward the end of the episode. This is how I think their storyline is going to conclude in episode 1. But Sasha is going to try to make a move overtly, and Goria is going to turn her down in like kind of a cunty way, and then Sasha's going to get intrigued. I want to tell you about my credentials, number 1, about the predictions that I'm able to make about this show. I said, Brat-esque soundtrack. JoJo, the director of the show, tweets about, the music that is inspiring this show, mentions tracks from Brat by Charlie XCX. My mind. I saw Milk do, I think, some sort of editorial photo shoot. She had a bob. Milk is the actress that plays Sasha. I said, what if we get Sasha in a bob for Girl Rules? I see in the trailer she has a bob in one of the scenes. So, and let me tell you, the bob looks good. Can we please, Emmy's holding us down for the cunty bobs. Like, can we extend the cunty bobs to more of these? Why is it always long hair? Like, let's get some hair diversity. We're lesbians. You know how much lesbians like to sleep with their ex-girlfriends and play games with their hair. Please. But Sasha's gonna be intrigued when she gets turned down by Goria. And then she's gonna go, I think I just know what my next target is. Let the game begin. Again, this is a show about games. Like, it's a show about rules, limits, boundaries, how we hold ourselves back because we're trying to compete against the people that we want and the people that we love. Is love a game? Can you win at love? Or to have love, do you have to commit to losing? Think about this. This is about to be a deep piece of... Oh my god. Alright. Moving on to Mim Preo. Can I just say how hard it was to find a picture of these pairings? I hope that they, like, really change lives and they blow up. Like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen, like, because they've got kind of, like, an interesting dynamic. And also, I think, like, because they're separated from everybody else and they're on their own, they have room to, like, shine outside of, like, all the mixing and matching that's going on everywhere else. However, unlike another separated pairing in the other show that's airing right now, I feel like they have, like, intense, like immediate spice, and I'm going to talk about why I think their dynamic has some spice here. Are they fucking EP1? The most important question. They might. Maybe. I don't think they are going to. What I think will be really cunty, though, yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to say. But what I think will really be cunty, they meet in the gay club. Mim is torn up about her horrible boyfriend and this strange bartender that she's never seen before, who's a lesbian. She doesn't know her. The lesbian's being really nice to her. She's like, what if we kiss a little bit? She's gonna say, okay, listen, why can't I just kiss this person? There's not gonna be any consequences because I literally don't know her. I'll literally never see her again. And then the kiss ends, and Mim was like, okay, that's interesting, but, like, again, like, it's not really serious. I'm just gonna move on. Preo was like, this is the woman for me. I'm 22 years old, and this 30-year-old woman that I kissed is gonna be my wife. Like, it's gonna be really bad for Preo. But then, what's ultimately gonna happen, Mim's gonna be like, yeah, no, like, yeah, I'll take your number or something, but completely blow Preo off and, like, be very happy that this weird lesbian experience she has can just be a weird lesbian experience that she has and doesn't have to follow her into her real life. Whole time, come to find out, they work together now. Yep, this is the new intern. This is the new intern that's going to be at the company. HR. HR. What do you mean you're a grad student? What do you mean I've already made out with our grad student intern? Oh my god. Oh my god. And Mim's not going to do well with that, because I feel like Mim is really something that, like, structure, that, like, seems to make sense and to be logical, and that didn't make any sense, girl. What are we doing? What are we doing? She's going to say, what is my life right now? She's going to have a lot of interior, what did I do? I feel like that would be kind of spicy. Like, I'm just saying, like, if the writers want to have a good show, this is what they've already put into motion, because this is what kind of seems obvious to me. I do think they need to do something episode 1. Something needs to happen. I don't know if they need to go, all 4 of the seasons, but we can at least get a little bit of springtime. Just a little kiss on the mouth, a little kiss on the lips. So yeah, those are basically all of my predictions for what we're gonna see in episode 1, which we're gonna release in, like, hours. So I don't know if anyone's gonna see this video before the episode comes out, but if you do see it after the episode comes out, validate me, because I was correct, wasn't I? I know what I know game and I know ball. I know game and I know ball. And I know television. I don't know. Those are my predictions. I don't think I'm going to do this before every episode. I think this is, like, This is just a special thing, but I do think like every 3 episodes, or maybe every four. I have to check how many episodes this has total. I hope they have more than 10 episodes. Like, I get like we're on a budget or whatever. Nobody told you to make all these shows, UMTV. Nobody told you to do all that. So every couple of episodes, I think I'll like come back and I'll discuss my thoughts on what's going on and make a couple of predictions as well. I never intended this channel to be like a BLDL channel. This channel is just about whatever is taking up a lot of space in my mind right now. And I think there's more of, I feel more dignified talking about GL and BL than I do about, let's just say Dan and Phil. Let's, I was about to get really specific. Let's just say Dan and Phil. I don't want to talk about them on this channel. You know, if you want to watch YouTube about Dan and Phil, people are probably watching Dan and Phil on YouTube, to be fair. But I think like analysis of the GL and the BL, and I feel like I bring a fresh perspective as games. This is gonna be the show for me because I'm literally games. Oh my god. Alright. Peace out, y'all. I can't wait. You guys gonna be watching the moment it drops? Do you guys think my assignment is gonna be done before it drops? Do you think I'm gonna sleep before it drops because I finished my assignment in time? Oh! Alright, bye.